So good evening, myself Dr. Yamini Ramesh, and I welcome you in this webinar on behalf of Homeopathy Junction and Asha Homeopathic Academy. And today we have Dr. Sunita Gandhi with us as a speaker. And one news I want to tell you is today is her birthday. So you all can wish her in the end. So happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Yamini.
And now I will introduce Dr. Sunita to all of you. Though most of you must have seen her video or her articles on the Other Song page. Still, so Dr. Sunita Gandhi is a very senior homeopath practicing from the last 24 years in Mumbai. She has graduated from Mumbai itself and also has done her post-graduation from London College of Homeopathy, where she was mentored and trained by her guide, Dr. Parinaz Humranwala. She has done her fellowship from the Other Song International Academy of Advanced Homeopathy, Bombay, under the esteemed guidance of world-renowned homeopaths Dr. Rajan Shankaran and Dr. Jayesh Shah, and many other homeopaths. She consults out of her own clinic at Lokhandwala Andheri and is also a senior consultant at the Other Song Clinic. Her passion for healing the sick and spreading the awareness drew her to teaching the art and science of homeopathy. She is a wonderful teacher and she has been teaching advanced techniques in the practice of homeopathy in various courses held at the Other Song Academy. She is very known for her interesting way of teaching, which you will definitely see today, which engages all the students. Her lectures are very famous among the students of homeopathy. You can watch a lot of videos from her on YouTube. Her specialty is in treating the skin and hair problems. Recently, the Other Song has done one webinar series where she took one webinar especially on how to treat alopecia and other hair loss problems. And that was a super hit. You must watch that. That is there in the Other Song's website. And we are very fortunate that today she has accepted this invite, and today she will be guiding us about the lac remedies and how to differentiate different lac remedies. So thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. I'm really glad that you have accepted this invite, and I'm really looking forward for learning from you.
Thank you, Dr. Yamini. Very generous words. And thank you for all the wishes. I'm getting so many messages on the chat. So thank you for my
Yes.
birthday wishes.
Most
So,
welcome,
Dr.
and it's our good fortune that you are teaching today. Thank you.
Yeah, because, there's a small story which I told you the other day when you asked me to teach today on 7th of June, that's my birthday. And you said, do you want to work on your
Yeah.
birthday? I said, please. Because I don't know, my mom always said, if you work on your birthday, you have work for the whole year. So I'm just hoping that this work continues. And actually, those of you who know me and who have taught, they actually know that teaching is not work for me at all. I am happiest when I am with people and when I'm on the stage or when I'm in front of students.
Definitely. I guess
That's
there
like
are a few master students here who knows you and who have attended your, especially the Animal Kingdom lectures, and
okay.
they have messaged me that, ma'am, we want to attend this and this is so interesting. So they are already excited like me.
Okay, that's good. So yes, we'll talk about the animal kingdom, and the moment they see me and they'll say, "Oh, you're from the animal kingdom because you're so animated." Now, well, we'll have other differentiations because
Yeah,
it's all about the animal kingdom. So, shall we begin now?
sure. So I'll
All right.
mute myself and then you
Yes.
carry on. And
So
whenever
whenever
you want me to talk, you just unmute me.
perfect, I'll do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So good evening, guys. It's a pleasure to be with all of you, and more specifically, it's a pleasure for me because being at home, indoors, locked down, without people, is not my comfort zone. So this is my comfort zone, seeing all of you and talking to you. So today we will be talking about the mammals, and actually I'm not doing the introduction to mammals because you all have already done it. I'll just kind of touch upon it. I think Dr. Yamini has already taken this lecture. So we'll actually talk more about lac remedies. I'll show you a couple of cases, but I have used the lac remedies a lot. and patients have benefited immensely. So I thought, I will speak to you about the remedies that I have used, and you can learn from my experience, right? So I'll share screen now, and we can begin. All right. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Yeah. So the topic for today is mammals, differentiating the lack remedies. So as you can see the picture, you can see a lot of different mammals. Mammals are from different orders. We will talk about different remedies from each of these orders, and I'll give you a brief on it. But how do you recognize the subkingdom mammals from the animal kingdom? Just let's go with a little brief on mammals first. So mammals are vertebrates. And how is the word mammals derived? Because females have mammary glands that produce milk, and the Latin word for mamma, which means breast. And that's how the word mammals has been derived. So mammals have the characterized by the presence of hair. In some mammals, like our marine mammals, the hairs are converted into the whiskers. They are warm-blooded animals. I will tell you all the differentiation of being warm-blooded and cold-blooded. There's a lot of differentiation in the human expressions also. As the case proceeds, I'll talk to you about why reptiles who are cold-blooded are different from the warm-blooded mammals. And mammals usually reproduce by giving birth to young ones. That is, they are viviparous. What is their social structure and behavior? So the main thing about mammals is they want to be in groups. They want to be in a pack or a herd. We are also mammals. Humans are also mammals of the order primates. And I mean, we are all social animals. No, we cannot live alone. Like, put me in a lockdown situation and I'm really bad. But the mammals want to be with people, want to be with group. And when there is a group, what happens? There also is a hierarchy in the group. Hierarchy meaning there is somebody at the top and there is somebody below. That's called a hierarchy. So the problem with hierarchy is, obviously when somebody is above and somebody is below, one person dominates, the other gets dominated. So there are a lot of issues that come up because of that. Most mammals are territorial. They have their own territory. Ye mera ilaka hai. You know, that way. Like if you will, even humans, if you'll see, you'll have humans living in different pockets, depending upon maybe their religion, even different cities. You'll see, like Mumbai is a cosmopolitan, very staying. We have all kinds. But if you go to the North Indian, you'll probably see more Punjabis staying. And if you go down south, you'll see more, people of that region staying together. Maharashtra, you'll see Maharashtrians. So people of a community tend to stay together. The same way, even animals, if it's a pack of wolves, they tend to stay together in one territory. So they also mark the territory that this is my zone, and they feel the comfort of being in that zone. So that's being territorial. Play. Play is also a very, very important feature of mammals. You don't see play, like you don't see snakes playing with each other, or maybe, but you'll see mammals, most mammals, they're very playful. Sometimes play is also a method of kind of putting their domination in place or putting their hierarchy in place. So if you will see us as human beings, play is very competitive now with us. What happens? What is the most important, most known sport in India? Cricket. And then there are these maybe 10, 15 famous cricketers. They're so well known, so popular. In some way, they have a say. They have a power above the other. So that also kind of determines their hierarchy. And another thing about mammals is they replicate and they learn by imitation. So you don't have to always sit and teach the mammal. They watch the people above and they learn. So they are blessed with better brains. They can learn quickly, and they learn by copying the older generation. Like, if you give an example, I speak in English because I've heard people speak in English. Now, I don't know how to speak Tamil because I haven't been associated. But if a person comes from down south and they are asked to speak Tamil and their mother tongue is Tamil, they have heard their mother speaking and they can speak in that language. So that's how they learn by imitation. Now, what can be the expressions of mammalian behavior? This is how mammals are. But the human expression of mammalian behavior is the need to be a part of the group. Like I said, we are social animals. We want to be a part of the group. But by being a part of the group, they also have to pay a price. And what is the price? The price is you have to comply with the norms of the group. Every group has do's and don'ts. Even if you don't like the do's, you still have to do the do's. Why? Because only then you will be accepted by the group. So need to belong to the group, and paying the price for the group, for price of being in the group, is the biggest issue of mammals. The group offers them security. The group offers them safety. But the only problem is, the only price you pay is you may lose your individuality while complying with the norms of the group. So this is the general outlay of mammals. Issues of me versus the group. Like if you will see in the animal kingdom, it's an issue with me against another, me versus another, or me versus myself. But in mammals, the issue is of me versus the group. Whether I should do what I want to do, or should I comply with what my group wants me to do. Issue of hierarchy. When there's somebody above and there's somebody below, there would be a feeling of being dominated, being suppressed, being put down. That's also seen a lot in the mammals. One thing that we see a lot in our cases, patients requiring remedies from the mammal group, is a strong maternal instinct. You will either see cares a lot for the mother, is cared a lot by the mother. So taking care, mammals are one group that actually take care of their offsprings. Like in the reptiles, there are very, very few reptiles who take care of, means major reptiles don't take care of their offsprings, but mammals definitely take care of their offsprings. There is also, in the human expression, you will see some problems associated with either menses or lactation. So, a feeling of heaviness of the breast before menses is almost, I think, a confirmatory symptom. Like when we are doing cases with Dr. Shankaran and he's come to the remedy, in the end, his last 2 or 3 questions are something that confirms the remedy. And if it's a mammal remedy, he will definitely ask, how are you before your periods? And if they complain of heaviness of breast, it's kind of almost a confirmatory symptoms. Of course, you have to see the rest of it also, but this is probably almost always there. Self-contempt and feeling of dirtiness. This is interesting to understand, and we'll see this mostly in one moment. I can see a couple of people whose video is not off. Can everybody switch off their videos, please? Kind of that distracts me. Yeah. All right. Thank you. So, self-contempt and feeling of dirtiness. Mammals, and a lot we'll see in Lac Humanum, is the feeling of me against myself. We have a good part in us and a bad part in us, the devil and the angel. And very often you'll see that there is some kind of conflict about doing what I want to do, but vis-a-vis doing what somebody else wants me to do, or doing what is profitable to me, but it's not very nice, vis-a-vis doing something that is for the whole group, but not very profitable to me. So somehow the good part in us really doesn't like the bad part in us. And that is where rises a feeling of self-contempt and feeling of dirtiness, right? So this kind of gives a small summary of the mammals. And I could tell you about a few mammals and then we'll do cases. And that's the time I'll have the chat box on, wherein we could discuss, what is the remedy in the case, right? So let's talk about goat. So the remedy made from goat's milk is called lac caprinum. Now, a little about the nature of goat. Goats are inquisitive creatures. They're very intelligent and playful. They have excellent night vision and they have razor sharp teeth. And we in the provings of lac caprinum have seen this remarkably, the fear of razor sharp things, fear of being bitten by razor sharp things. So, somewhere their own characteristics also reflect in the human expressions. Goats also have goats are from the order Artiodactyla, that is the herd mammals. So they also have a well-defined social order in the herd. There is a goat which is at the top and there is a goat which is not so much at the top and some are below. And there's the superior goat is the one who kind of plays the boss, and to even sometimes assert its place as the superior, they may butt and ram the lesser one to remove them or to show them the right place. So you'll see a lot of issue of dominance in the goat. A little more about their behavior. In order to reach that higher dominant position, the goats very often kind of fight to upgrade their status and to establish that they are the prominent and the dominant goat. So there is a lot of fight between goats to come up to that position. New goats are not very easily accepted. Very often they are dominated and pushed around by, or if I can use the word, bullied by the other goats. So, okay, one more thing which is very prominent about goats are that they're very good climbers. And whenever they are scared, they will quickly climb up. They can even climb rocky mountains and they can climb very steep slopes also. They are made to. And then we see in the human behavior, there is this feeling of wanting to be at the top. Sometimes that wanting to be at the top is to establish dominance, or sometimes it is out of fear. It is out of fear of being attacked, and the safety position is to be at the top. Goats are also herd mammals. They don't like to be alone. And they are very, very stressed if they are left alone. So these are the human expressions of goats. Generally, they have the prey mammal qualities. What are the prey mammal qualities? The ones who get scared easily. When you differentiate mammals, they're divided into two main groups, the preys and the predators. So the prey groups are the one who have the fright and flight response. Instead of fighting the bigger animal, their first instinct is they're scared. So they freeze, and the next instinct is they run to save themselves. So that is the fright and flight response of prey mammals. The herd feeling, the feeling of needing to be a part of the group, the feeling of having the safety within the group, because they are smaller mammals, so they are always scared of being attacked by the bigger ones, and they feel their safety lies in them being together. If they are together, they are stronger. You can go to YouTube and see some videos like, a herd of buffaloes who usually form a prey to lions can even take down the most ferocious predator carnivorous animals when they are in a group. So the group gives them safety. The herd feeling is they will even warn each other if there is impending danger. If like one of them has traced a predator somewhere, they quickly go and talk to the rest of them and they kind of uh, inform the rest that, oh, there is danger, something is coming up. There's also fear of razor sharp objects. As I told you, they have their canines are like razor sharp. So they have fear of razor sharp objects, which came out very, very prominently in their provings. Theme of the guest. This Dr. Shankaran has done the proving of lac caprinum, and he found the theme of the guest being very, very prominent in the goats. What is the theme of the guest? Guest, I mean, we say Atithi, whatever, you know, the guest, you have to honor the guest. But when the guest comes into your house, the first thing the guest does is takes away your space. This is my space. If there are 4 people who enter here, I have to compromise my space. I have to give them some space. And goats are very, very sensitive to others taking away their space. Like when we saw in the characteristics of the goats that they they don't they don't like newer goats coming into their pack. The same way, the guest is another feature of the goats. They don't like anybody entering their space. So we have seen in some cases also that the biggest problem that they have is, I don't like somebody in my space. I don't like somebody getting into my space. So that is a very, very strong feature we see in lac caprinum. Theme of shamelessness, and they have shameless sexuality. The sexuality is like the goats also, they like animals. There's high sense of sexuality, and how is it seen? There's a impulse to just jump at the first female they saw. So that's goats for you. Extremely lonely, malicious. They have a major fear of being taken by surprise. Like we saw the females having the fear of being jumped at, not giving a single chance to escape. And the idea which I spoke earlier, to find a safe space, usually at the top. So anything happens, they quickly go up to the top. That's a safe place for them. They have extremely low self-esteem, and they desire to attain a high social position. So, you know, why I spoke about the nature of a goat in general and the human expressions, you'll see in the provings, a lot of it comes out from the same basic nature. So it's very important to understand the nature of the animal and see also how the proving symptoms go, right? So far, so good. Can we go to the next animal? I think we have about 6-7 minutes left of this meeting, and we can all log in back again with the same ID. Lac defloratum, that's the cow's milk. Again, lac defloratum is also from the order Artiodactyla. That is, they are the herd mammals. In lac defloratum, again, this proving has been done by Dr. Rachan Shankaran, wherein he found that there was a lot of desire to be a part of the community, a lot of desire to be a part, you know, the friends were a very big thing. So they wanted to do whatever it took to be part of a group, being a part of the family group, being a part of the friend group. And the biggest fear was they are rejected from the community. So they feel extremely abandoned, almost like how we see in Mad Cub, the feeling of being totally forsaken and not having friends. Also, lac defloratum, the mother figure is very, very important here. There is something major in lac deflo about wanting the mother, being cared by the mother, losing the mother, mother doesn't care enough, very high. And one of the remedies where the need to be attractive is very, very strong is lac defloratum. They feel they're fat, they feel they're ugly, they want to do whatever it takes to look better. Also, in the proving, there came out a dream of being beaten, dream of with a sense of injustice. They have been wronged. You know, animals generally tend to get a beating, but I think the cows are very, very sensitive to that. And the human expression is that I am totally suppressed. They have absolutely no voice of their own. They are totally the what do you call, the submissive, yielding. The word that Dr. Shankaran uses for cows are subservient. So they quietly keep doing. Kollu ka bail kaise kaam karta hi rehta hai, karta hi rehta hai. They quietly keep doing their work, and they are very often abused or put down by authority, and they can do nothing by it. Some of the dreams are dreams of animals, of being pursued, of being beaten, and a lot to do with separations from friends or family. One of the strong symptoms that we see in cases of lac deferoratum, which again now I have learned from Dr. Shankaran to ask at the end if they like milk or not. We see in lac deflo a very, very strong desire or intolerance or aversion to milk. Although in desire for milk, you do not find this rubric, but in aversion to milk, you'll find this rubric. And a lot of problems also of lactation are taken care of by lac deferoratum. You know, women in the lactating periods, when they start producing very less quantity of milk, lac deferoratum is almost a specific in improving the quality of milk. And of course, obesity is also a part of this remedy. So the keywords of lac deflo are docile, mild, gentle, subservient, sacrificing. One more thing very important about lac deflo is claustrophobic. That's almost always a specific when we see cases who require a mammal remedy. They are very scared of being shut in a room and the door gets locked. So this also almost always we have seen being present in the case. Then let's come to now, we go to the next order. And after that, I think we can resume again. I'll be able to finish it in that much. Lac equinum comes from the order Perissodactyla. That is, they are beasts of burden. Now, what are the qualities of horse from which lac equinum is made? Horses are very graceful animals and they're hugely powerful. I mean, they're huge, they're swift, they have very good muscle structure. They have their ears can turn on all degrees and they can collect sounds from a lot of directions. So they have a very high trigger system. The moment they feel danger, they quickly get into a frenzy. And then they can just run. You know, sometimes you see for no reason, if you've seen videos on YouTube, the horse has suddenly got a jerk and starts running. Sometimes it is the alarm system in them wherein they have sensed danger. Very restless, and we'll see this restlessness in our human expressions also. They're restless on their feet. You know, if you've seen videos, you'll hear the tuck, 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 tuck sound that they make. It's generally they are moving their feet up and down in the stables. If you keep them in a stable for too long, they don't like that also. So again, social animals, they also like to stay in a pack. Like dogs, the horses are also very loyal, but they only become loyal once they trust their master. If they feel their master is doing anything that will trouble them, if the master is doing anything that could be hurting them, they don't show loyalty. The moment they can trust their master, then they are the most loyal animals. Again, they have a very high hierarchy system with a dominant male. And mares, that is the females, they are, it's a harem based social system with males dominating a group of females. So one male has a lot of groups of females in their harem. We spoke about them being easily startled and the graciousness. There's a lot of dignity, and we have a lot of rubrics where you see the dignity is lost, they get affected, and that's what we see in lac humanum patients also. They don't like to be confined, and they are primarily a symbol of freedom. So the freedom is very, very important to them. even in children. Sometimes when you just want to give the child a tuberculinum or a tarantula, wait, see if the kingdom and the subkingdom is there, consider lac equinum. They have that kind of restlessness and fidgetiness. Speed. Another thing we know about, like horses are known for their horse racing skills because they're really fast mammals. So we see a lot of the need for speed, the need to hurry, the need to be fast in lac equinum cases. So they like races, they like cars, bike, horses, racing. And along with the speed, the issue of not wanting to be confined, you'll have the other mammal group, the dependency on the group, wanting to be a part of the group, feeling safe within the group, the hierarchy and the maternal instinct. So, you know, when I'm giving you these different orders, you see the mammalian features are all there. Along with them, you'll see the order features. The order for horses is Perissodactyla. The Perissodactylas, the beasts of burden, have very similar features, like you'll also see in lac assinum that I'm going to talk about now. So I have a wonderful case of lac assinum. Before we talk about that case, let's understand what is the basic feeling or the idea that of the donkey's mind. So donkeys are also the beasts of burden, and they lie in the order Perissodactyla. The difference between donkeys and horses is donkeys are more sure-footed. They are more agile than the horses. You know what the horses are for speed, donkey is for sure-footedness. Donkeys are, you know, they can even be called very, very stubborn. They're actually not really stubborn. They're extremely cautious. So they don't put their foot unless they are sure. Once they're sure it's safe, only then they put their foot. Dr. Jayesha always tells us that, you know, donkeys or the cases that we see, lac assinum patients, they don't decide very fast. They take a very long time to make a decision because they're very, very cautious. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it safe? Is it not safe? And once they have decided, then 10 wild horses can't make them change their decision. I mean, that's only a saying, 10 wild horses. Primarily, once they decide, they're very, very sure. So sure-footed and agile is a key word for donkey. They're very, very stable, and that's why they're known to carry a lot of weights. So the piece of burden or carrying loads is also another thing. Like a patient of ours at the Athasong, who required lac assinum, had this tremendous feeling, and he kept saying, you know, मेरे पे कोई वजन डालता है पूरा टाइम, मुझे ऐसे लगता है मेरे पे किसी ने वजन डाला हुआ है. And primarily the back is sensitive because, you know, as we see in their nature, they are the ones who carry these heavy loads, and they are not carrying this load for any particularly nice thing. They feel, oh, they're doing this dirty, mundane, routine work. So donkeys have this feeling, oh God, you know, I am made to do the same old, mundane, routine thing. That's why they are not happy with it. They don't like to be confined. Again, they like horses, they want to be free. I spoke about being cautious. They are extremely depressed if they are left alone, just like horses. So the key words that we'll see in lac assinum cases are being overburdened, being weighed down, loaded, laden, confined, bounded, and restricted. So if you find these words along with the other mammalian features, think of lac assinum. They also have a lot of endurance, sehen shakti, stamina, strength. They can take a lot of load. They will not retaliate as much. So the important rubrics are the feeling of being worthless, delusion he is doing dirty work, delusion he is worthless, delusion he is stupid, delusion he is being abused. And, you know, when we were talking about this lac assinum case, he kept saying, I'm doing the same thing again and again, again and again. And then Dr. Shankaran asked him, okay, tell me, what is the exact opposite of this? So he said, the exact opposite would be taking a Harley Davidson, sitting on it and booming past the whole city in that Harley Davidson. And sir asked, okay, tell me, what would be the feeling when you're sitting on a Harley Davidson and zooming past in the city? You think it'd be so exciting. It'd be like going out in the new, venturing. It's so much fun. It's away from the dull and the boring. So, you know, this very strange rubric that you see here, dreams banquet of being at. It is an absolute opposite feeling from what they really think they are doing. So even in the case that we saw, the need to be having fun and the thrill, which was away and opposite from what he actually does, a mundane routine life. So that's Black Assalam. Now we come to another group, which is the Rodentia, the order Rodentia. And we have a lot of different remedies. We have the rat's blood, that is our black rat. And a proving was done by Dr. Jayesh. You can see this whole proving in Synergy, our software. It is, the themes are wonderful. I have just got down a few themes which I have seen in cases, but I think it's a beautiful proving. Read the whole of it from the themes in Rattus. So the main thing, what is in the nature of the rat? What is the first feeling that you get? Oh, rat. You know, you find them to be dirty, and they are found in dirty places. But the inherent nature of the rat is they lack moral feeling. They care two hoots about anybody. So they're very, very insensitive. And you'll see a lot of it as human expressions when the patient comes, not bothered about anybody. It's all about I, me, and myself. Whatever they do, it's for them. They don't respond to duty. You see a lot of neglect. The I care a damn attitude, no concern for others. And they're very frivolous. You know, like how you'll see rats going one corner eating here, going another corner eating there. They want different variety of food. Same way we'll see in Rattus, in the remedy Rattus, a lot of desire for highly seasoned foods, different types of foods, fancy clothes, colored clothes. They like bright colors. I'm wearing bright colors, but I'm not Rattus in any which ways. So they're very, very fond of fancy things. And it's called a momentary rush. Because they get allured to very fancy things, they get trapped. How do we catch a mouse in the house? You know that dabba that is there to catch the mouse? It's called a rat trap. So what we do, either we put some piece of chapati or bread or cheese or whatever into that rat trap and we leave it open. And then what happens in the night? The rat gets attracted to the food. I don't know if they know or they don't know that that's a trap, but it is this intense attraction that leads to their fatality. So they get attracted and quickly the door closes, and that's how we can catch a rat. And that's called momentary rush. They're very lustful. As much as they want fancy food, that much they want a lot of different types of sex. So you'll see a lot of sexual perversions in Rodentia, and they need variety of sex. There's a lot of immorality, a lot of extramarital sex. So completely way off this kind of feelings are. They also have a lot of fear of animals, fear of being attacked. And this is one thing that you will see a lot, which I explained earlier, the need to quickly bend down to temptation, which actually leads to their downfall. So that's called the mouse trap. So nice remedy. We also have the blood of the rat that was proved. You can go through the provings. And now we'll do one more remedy and then go to a case. Lacumanum. I have done the proving of this remedy, and I think I did it with Dr. Divya many years back in, I think, 1995. In fact, I was the one who procured the milk. I was doing my housemanship. No, I was doing my internship at Bhabha Hospital, Bandra, Bhabha Municipal Hospital, Bandra. And I didn't know why Dr. Divya said, just go to the lab and get you to, a healthy mother and get me a few drops of the milk. And I had got it from there. And I didn't know that we were actually making a remedy out of the human milk. And we did a proving there. And I don't know, that was probably the worst time of my life. I did very, very badly in that proving. We'll tell you why. I proved a couple of drugs, and that was the last proving I've done. I've never done any other proving after that. So probably, the lac humanum feeling kind of may have been resonating with me at that time, although my remedy is not that, but it did resonate. So what is lac humanum? It's the human milk. So it actually resonates with most of us. And whatever I'm going to tell you now, you will all feel, oh, मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही होता है. I also feel similarly. But this is generally the human feeling. What is that? The feeling of having two wills. On one side, the good part of me, on the other side, the bad part of me. When these mics are on, I am shut mic. All right, thank you. So, what is it? The main conflict that lac humanum has is one side being very spiritual and God-fearing, and the other side being unreligious and sinful. On one side, to be very ambitious, work, go hard, and achieve your goals. On the other side, let it be now. Let me just relax. Let's just watch Netflix for some time. Yeah. So, I mean, in the lockdown also, I think I'm very sure I am going through this very often. See, whether I should, this is the right time for me to learn homeopathy, to understand it better, to, do better work. Whatever cases are not doing, let's see where it went wrong. I could do, and on the other side, forget now there's any decrease, so much work in the house. Let me just go watch TV for some time. I mean, isn't it a daily thing whether I should just do something that is easy for me or something that requires some work? So that's the conflict of the human mind. Also, you'll see on one side, do I do what I want to do? And the other side, do I do what the group wants me to do? So I'll give you a very good example. When we were doing, Dr. Yamini will probably remember this, because when we were doing our CCAH, the certificate course in homeopathy at the Adasong, I think it was 2014. And we were first batch of CCAH, and we were like one big enthusiastic batch. And college students, these 40-year-olds and 35-year-olds were having all kind of days. We had sari day, tie day, and color day, and whatever. So one day we decided to have sari day for women and tie day for men. And we were all kind of to dress up that way. And that same day we had Dr. Shankaran doing a live case. And हमारे में तो किसी में हिम्मत ही नहीं थी सर को कुछ बोलने की, but we had this one very senior doctor with us, Dr. Vishpala Padsati, who was also doing her fellowship with us in our classroom, and she wrote a mail to sir that Dr. Shankaran, we are doing tie day tomorrow and you have a lecture, so why don't you please join us by wearing a tie? So Dr. Shankaran tells us later about this case, and that this happened, and Dr. Vishpala had mailed me, and he walks in that day for the very first time with a tie. And he tells us, I actually got the feeling I hate to wear a tie. I have never possessed a tie, owned a tie, or worn a tie in my life. I've not even worn a tie when I got married. And yesterday I get an email from Dr. Vishpala saying that wear a tie and come. And I was like, I can't do that. But you know what? I felt, oh God, if I am not a part of the group, I'm not part of this Adasong family, I will feel so awkward. I will feel so left out. Everybody is in saris and ties, and I'm the only one who's not conforming with the group. So he says, much against my wishes, I didn't want to do it one bit, but I spoke to my son, I borrowed his tie, and I'm wearing a tie right now. So he said this was exactly the feeling of lac humanum. Should I do what I want to do? So what I want to do is I don't want to wear a tie, but on the other hand, I have to bend down to conform to the group, to be a part of the group, so that I'm accepted. I mean, not that he really needed to be accepted by the group or whatever, but he said that his inherent feeling that time was, oh God, I would be off from the group. So let me go and wear a tie. And he wore a tie for those whatever half an hour, 45 minutes he was with us. And before he left the door, the tie was out. So that's another story. So this is the feeling of lac humanum. In lac humanum, there is a lot to do with family. Like in all mammals, but there is, you see a lot of it more in lac humanum. And the desire to help family. And the again, here the theme of cousin came up a lot in the desire to help a handicapped cousin, or desire to help a sick friend. Also, as I spoke earlier, there is this inherent feeling of being divided into two parts, the good and the bad, and the good is usually disgusted with the bad part. And that's where the feeling of of shit also comes. You see, most mammals have the feeling of being dirty, feeling as dirty as shit, but maximum you'll see it in lac humanum, because the conflict of will is highest in lac humanum, and that's where they are constantly fighting a battle, whether I should do what I want to do or whether I should do what the group wants to do, whether I should do what is good for me or I should do what is good for the group. That's the theme of the family, the cousin, anxiety for the family, and the need to be a part of the friend group, and the fear of being forsaken. This was one of the very strong feelings we saw in lac humanum. There was a lot to do with snakes. Generally, also we see a lot of mammal remedies in dreams of snakes and being pursued by snakes, but a lot in lac humanum. The theme of being embarrassed is also very strong. Being naked or exposed, and feeling of being disgusted about oneself and about one's diseased body. So the main conflict between selfishness and selflessness. Primates, that is the order that humans lie in, they are very altruistic. They are very sensitive to the sufferings of others. And that's why they are known to be selfless. But the inherent want is, I want to be selfish. I want to do things for myself. No, no, no. Then I'm not a good person. Na? If I'm only thinking about myself, I should be selfless. I should, do for the rest. And that's the biggest conflict that you will see in life. In fact, only a few days back, I took a case, a lady in my building only, like we've just shifted into a new house, so we really don't know too many people. And so, we just met once, and she said, I am in a miserable state in this lockdown, and I don't know what to do. Can you help me? I said, okay, fine. Let's just fix up a meeting on WhatsApp video call. And she was constantly crying and sobbing in the whole interview. I said, what happened and what is bothering you? She's saying, today when I am alone, today when I am in this situation, I constantly feel that when her mother was suffering from breast cancer and her father had throat cancer. She said that they are constantly, my feeling was that I should have done more for them. When my mother was suffering from breast cancer, she went and stayed with her mom, and her mom, who was so much older than her, took care of her. And I didn't go and stay with her even one day. So I said, why did you do that? She said, I was so within myself. I was so bothered about myself that it didn't occur to me also that she will need me. I would go there, spend 1 hour, take care of her needs and come back. But I wasn't there because I was so full of myself. That is the feeling of lac humanum, that they are so full of themselves that they cannot and see what's happening beyond them. And now her conflict was so strong that when my mother needed me, I was not there. And now I am feeling so isolated, so forsaken, with no friends, in an absolutely new building, no neighbors I know, and it is getting the most of me. And I gave her lac humanum and I got to follow up with her. She's doing very, very well now. So that's the basic conflict of Lacumanum. Let me know, is this going well? Do you want to do the cases now, or we first finish a basic idea of all the remedies? If you could just kind of drop a few messages on the chat box, I would know if this is going fine. Am I going too fast? I tend to speak very fast. So if you all want me to go a little slow, you could even tell that. Not fast? Okay, it's perfect. So we'll finish all my remedies and then go to the case. That's the, I think, general, perfect. So let me start sharing. We go to the order Cetaceae now. Cetaceans are marine mammals. You know, the whales and the dolphins are also mammals. They are also warm-blooded. They breathe through their lungs. They have whiskers instead of hair. They also give birth to young ones. So they are also mammals, but they are called sea mammals. What we know most about dolphins? Dolphins are very sociable. You know, there was this movie Dancing with the Dolphins. I mean, and Free Willy, that was with they both marine mammals. It was, they're very playful. They like to play for no rhyme or reason. You see, you know how you see in this picture here, they'll swoosh up and go down. And that's a kind of a play for them. They're completely fun-loving, play-loving, gregarious animals who love to have a good time. So they're full of activity, high energy. And I had a beautiful case of Lac Delphinum. This girl, she was, I think, 18 years old, no, 16 years old. And all she wanted to do was, I just like to have fun. And she was laughing all the time. And she came for urticaria. But when her nature was that she just enjoyed life. And the thing she loved the most was having a bath 4 times a day. I mean, once is enough. She's saying, anything happens, I'm in my shower. She says, I stay in the shower for half an hour, 45 minutes. The best place for me is being in water. So dolphins, because their inherent habitat is the water, they love to be in water. They're very, very social beings. They have very strong bonds, a lot of maternal instinct. You know, they say that the dolphin babies kind of stay with the dolphins almost like always, like us. You know, I mean, we stay with our parents. I think Indian children stay with their parents for the longest time. And the dolphins also almost always stay together. They're very compassionate. If somebody else is hurt, quickly the dolphins will go circle and try and help. There's very high sexuality in the dolphins. So the females, they say, are always eager to court and mate almost through the year. The mother dolphin remains close to her calf, and they are all the time, she's guiding them how to move, what to do. So they're very, very close, the mother and child. And they work in a group. So if they have to catch a fish, a big one, they all circle around them and they hover inside and they finish the fish. And this feeling of going in circles is also seen in the proving of Lac Delphinum, that is the dolphin's well. So some of the rubrics that you will see here are activity desire for, exertion physical desire for. Oh, 1 second, the screen sharing stopped. Okay, so activity desire for, amusement desire for, dreams of parties, jovial, communicative, very, very playful, very, very playful. Antique plays, play desire, to play in water, swimming enjoys, eating, amorous disposition, and dreams circle going in clockwise. So that's dolphin. Now let's come to the final order, that is the Carnivora. And in Carnivora, we have 2 subgroups. the canine family. So you'll have the wolves and the fox and the dogs in it, and you'll have the cat family where you'll have the tiger and the lion and the our house cat and the cheetah and the canidaes they are called. So lac caninum is one remedy I think all of us know very, very well. So probably the the first mammal remedy that comes. So at this point, I'd like to say something interesting. I have worked with Dr. Shankaran many, many years, and this is what I have learned from him. Uh, when you are at a case and you feel that the remedy is lac caninum, okay, and you feel that in your repertorial totality also lac caninum is the remedy that's coming first, don't go and prescribe lac caninum. At that moment, this is the best time for you to see the other mammals. See, lac caninum is probably the best proved mammal remedy that we have. So obviously, most of it will be covered in the repertory. So if lac caninum comes as kind of your first dominant remedy in the repertory, this is your opportunity to look for other mammals. Similarly, if lachesis comes as your primary remedy, think of other reptiles, think of other snakes. It may not be lachesis, the other not so proved snakes may also be there. Similarly, if tarantula comes as your first remedy, then it's your chance to see the other spiders, right? So lac caninum, we'll quickly browse through. Dogs are domesticated wolves. They are completely domesticated animals. So what is the inherent feeling of the dog? This is my home, this is my master, he protects me, I am loyal to him, and he gives away a lot of love, caring for the master. But the inherent feeling is they know that they are not the child of the master, so they always feel they are slightly less than the master. They are slightly less than human beings, so they have a very, very inherent feeling of being looked down upon, of being small, delusion that they are small. They are although very, very faithful to their master, but they feel they can never ever compete and live up to the master's child. So loyalty, submissiveness, subservience are keywords of dogs. The main theme about lac caninum is again dominance. The who's going to be the one on the top. They have a very malicious side. Although they look like the subservient, a dog is very, very malicious. It can be very irritating. If you read Soul of Remedy by Dr. Shankaran, he writes, if you hit a dog's tail, he will bite you. So you can't fool around with the dog. So they just suppress or they cover up their inherent aggression or ferociousness, but so that they are accepted by the master. But inherently, when they are ruffled, they will show their atrocious and their very canine side. So what is the conflict in the dog? The dog's conflict is, I'm not good enough, I'm dirty, I'm low, I'm horrible, and I whatever I do, I cannot go up. And they have a very, very low feeling. So the rubrics that tell us about this is contemptuous of self, delusion he is despised, delusion he is dirty, he's diminished, short that he is, or looked down upon. There's a rubric called please desire to. They try very, very hard to please the master. The dog wags its tail the moment the master comes. He's genuinely happy also, but also this is his method. Oh, every time I am jumping and hovering around my master, the master enjoys it better and he likes it better. So he wants to be accepted and being a part of the family, so he tries a lot to please. But the animal's side, that if you pull a dog's tail, it will bite you. So the malicious side, the moral feeling want of, the rage, the fury, the rudeness, even writing meanness to friends. You see that all the other side of the dog, right? The dogs we know very, very well. But what happens when this dog, who is this most loyal, most warm, loving person to his master, if the master ill treats this dog, then this dog goes crazy, and that's called the rabid dog. And we have a remedy called lysinum, which is made by the saliva of the rabid dog. This dog is in complete pain. You know, I mean, if you've ever seen a rabid dog, it's a frenzy. He can be mad. He will cut, he can mutilate, he can tear his own master because this feeling of delusion that he is suffered wrong. He's tormented by the same person who he served for, like a loyal dog, like, you know, in the truest word. Now, I have this wonderful case of Lysinum. This girl came, she had visited like 10 different doctors, and it was an MD physician who referred this case to me. She just had this endless cold which never went well. She says she had this whole box of tissues. With 100 tissues, she used about 3 or 4 boxes every single day. So like 300-400 tissue papers. She had so much discharge coming out, and she had tried everything in the books for it and not helping. And the problem was, she was to give her board exams, and she says, I cannot write an exam because this is constantly dripping. MRI was done, paranasal sinuses, everything was done. No reason for this kind of discharge, but the discharge was there. And when I took her case, I didn't get any real feeling of the dog or lac caninum or anything. There was only this very trait that she used to get very, very angry. And the mother said, when this child gets angry, she can kill a person. She's saying, and I'm telling you, then she shows, the mother shows me marks. These are the scratches of this girl. I said, what do you mean scratches? She says, when she's angry, she's like all over the place, and she's biting you, she's scratching you, and she's absolutely like a mad woman. And then you leave her alone. Within 1 month, she is at your feet and begging you, I'm sorry, mom, I shouldn't have done it, I don't know what happened to me. So you see, this trait is very, very specific in Lysinum, the rabid dog. Anger followed by quick repentance. They feel. And then, you know, I took the history of the mother, and the mother's history during pregnancy. She had this intense feeling of having suffered wrong in the hands of her in-laws, and she felt that I have done so much for them, and today is my time of need when I am pregnant. And she had a difficult pregnancy, nobody is by my side, and she was very, very wrong, but she could not give back. And what happened? She produces a child who's Lysinum, who sometimes gets into such a rage that she can actually scratch, and people, her brother, she has scratched, almost he lost half of his eye because she scratched him so badly in one of the fits of anger. So she did beautifully well with Lysinum. Within, I think it was her first follow-up was after 15 days. She was 80% better with her coryza. She had some other, symptoms of pain, so bad pain that she had to wrap up her legs with bands to take care of the pain. Those intense pains had gone away almost 90 to 95% in 15 days. And then I saw her over a period of 1.5 years, and her whole rage and her anger all settled down. But I got this history only in the mother's history during pregnancy. So that is Lysinum. Some rubrics before this session ends and we join again. Anger alternating with quick repentance. Attack others' desire to. Bite others' desire to. Cruelty, cut, mutilate, slit others' desire to. An impulse to stab his flesh with the knife he holds to. Very, very violent, very, very violent. Delusion, he's abused. Delusion, he's tormented. And this is a rubric that I took. Delusion, he is suffered wrong. There's an intense fear of dogs. Also, praying is a very, very significant part of this remedy, Lysinum. And you see hydrophobia. Lysinum is also called hydrophobinum, and they have an aversion to water. Right? I think we will end this session now. Now we come to the Canidae family. That is, we are doing lac felinum. That's the cat's milk. Just as you see in the canids, that is the dog family, a strong interdependence and a feeling of hierarchy and dominance. Cats are extremely independent creatures. They, even if the cat is domesticated, that cat has domesticated itself. Only when she desires will the cat actually go to the master? I have also done the proving of lac felinum, and it was a very nice proving. Again, Dr. Divya had done it 1995. If you go and see the Links edition of 1995, homeopathic links, you'll see the whole proving in it. Very beautiful theme that came up, but we have two different themes that come up for lac felinum. I'll talk to you about it. So the felines are very, very independent, and they don't want any restrictions. The main conflict is being dependent or independent. Should I go and live in a house because it's taking care of my needs? That is becoming dependent. But my own thing is that I am inherently independent and I don't want to get domesticated. That's the main conflict of the cat. Cats don't like to be, purred, or they don't like to be stroked if they don't want it. Only when they want it, they come to you and they want to be stroked. They cannot be bullied. If the master bullies the cat, they will leave the master. I had this one saying, I had gone for a visit of the Ganpati festival once to a friend's house. That was the first time I was going. She was a gym friend, so I didn't know the family, and she had these two big huge cats roaming around the house, and I was like, oh god. And they were like completely cold cats. And then I saw outside the board of the cats belonged to her daughter, and outside the bedroom door of that daughter was written, dogs have masters, cats have slaves. That's inherently the feeling. The cat cannot have a master. Cat is her or his own master. Cats can only have people below them. They're the slaves. So cats are very, very, they're very selfish, self-centered. There is no feeling of loyalty in cats. So as they say, loyalty is badly missing in cats. The main desire, what came out in the proving, was desire for liberty, desire for freedom, which we see in lac felinum. They're very ferocious, angry animals, but they have kind of curb that when they are domesticated, but they can be very ferocious as and when they desire. They don't like to be restricted, and certainly not by one's partner. You see a lot of theme of jealousy in lac felinum patients. The proving that Dr. Divya Chhabra did, which I was also a part of, the theme of prostitution came up very high. Now, what is the theme of? It's not that there's delusion you're a prostitute. What is the feeling of a prostitution, of a prostitute? The prostitute lets out her body for monetary gains. So that is the feeling, one has to cheapen oneself in order to gain something. And that's a very, very dirty feeling that comes up. Like a cat has domesticated itself only for its survival. And the inherent feeling is yuck. It's horrible that I had to kind of bend down to such a level to get the comforts of my living. So that is the feeling of prostitution that comes up. So the key words of lac felinum are dignity, royalty, grace, power, agility, strong independence, and vis-a-vis cheapen and degrade. And this is the last remedy we'll do before we go to the case. It's the lion's milk. This proving is also fantastically done. Dr. Rajan Shankaran has done it. You can go through his book, Homeopathic Provings by Dr. Rajan Shankaran, and you'll see all the themes. These are the themes that I've actually personally seen in cases. The lac leolinum, they have a very, very strong feeling of being superior, being at the top, and somebody is putting them down, somebody is making them feel inferior, or they are wrongly criticized, or somebody is grossly interfering in their life. They don't like to be treated low. They are very, very, very independent, very strongly independent women, vehemently assertive. I had this lady who said to me today, I don't have time, otherwise I would have shown you this case of lac leolinum also, wherein she says that as a child, I was extremely independent. When I was 4, I told my mother, I cannot sleep in your room, I need a room for myself. And she says, I was out of my parents' room when I was at 4 years old. Normally, how our children are sleeping with us till they're 12, 13, 14, and you have to remove them from the room. She says, no, I need it. She's saying, from my childhood, I am fiercely independent. And she says, I knew exactly what I want. They're very, very, very sure of what they want. So that's called vehemently assertive, that if they say this is it, this is it. Of course, program, something's happened to my PowerPoint. All right. So also another thing that we see in Leolinum is they're very sympathetic, and they are very compassionate towards small children. They're very compassionate uh, towards the younger ones, to the disabled children, to animals, and they cannot take the atrocities of animals. One moment. I'm going to just start sharing my screen again. Okay. So vehemently assertive, as I said, there's a lot of ego and a lot of love for power. Sympathetic towards the younger, sympathetic towards the other animals, sympathetic towards helping their relatives, desire to do many things, but they're easily prostrated. And they have the fear of animals attacking them. These are some of the single symptoms in lac leolinum. Admonition aggravates. Anger at interference. Assertive vehemently. Clothes desires red. Dancing on waking up in the morning. Delusion she's a king. Delusion she's put down. And dreams pursued, saving the child from pursuing tiger. So this lady also had a lot of issues with, atrocities towards children. She's saying, I don't know how this happens. She's saying, I've seen only in India, when you're walking in the road, and if the traffic is moving on the right, I don't know why parents hold their children with their hand on the right hand side. I mean, if the car has to hit, they'll hit the child. The child needs to be on the inner side of the road and not on the outer side. But how can people do that? But now they are they and me, I am me. I can never think of it. One, the child has to be protected being inside. So there, the one also word she said was, and she almost came to the sensation, and she spoke about the lioness, and she's saying, I said, what do you like most about lions? She said, they can be ferocious predators, but they are the most affectionate moms. So they really take care. In fact, in the whole harem that the lion has, there is no what the mothers don't differentiate between the other children. They take care of the other children as if they are their own. So lions can be ferociously angry and ferociously upbeat. On the other side, they're very, very affectionate mothers, right? Let's start with one case, and then we'll have some thoughts about that. One more. Let's do this. This is on my screen. It comes, your screen sharing is paused. Are you all able to see my screen, Dr. Yamini?
No.
No?
Actually, the screen is coming, but it is blank. There is no slide.
Resume share. Let me see. Now is it okay?
Yeah, now it is visible.
Oh, so I was all the time talking without sharing screen. One moment. Are we there? Visible? Again, it's paused.
Okay, try now.
I'll stop share. How's it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now this is a case of urticaria. Now this case, no, I want you all to participate at the end and tell me, your thoughts. Because now I have explained most of the remedies, and the remedy that I have spoken is here, So it's a case of an urticaria, and this is a retake. This child I had seen. When she came to me, I think she was at this time she was about 18, 19 years old, but I had seen her as a small child. She was 17 years old, and she came up with urticaria, and she had severe rashes all over her body, raised patches, lot of itching. And I had taken her case many years back in 2009. I'd given her phosphorus. So what happens is, I repeated phosphorus. The first thing when they come to you back again, and you think once a phosphorus, always a phosphorus, right? No, not right. So you have to do the case again to see what is coming that time. She did not respond to phosphorus. So we took her case again, right? And her chief complaint was in 6 weeks, the whole body was itching and flaring up. Face was becoming swollen. She almost had angioneurotic edema twice, and there was the whole lips had swollen up. Almost she had, swelling of the neck also, and it was pretty bad. And it all started after having peanuts. And she had basically some chicky which had peanuts, cashew nuts, almonds, and chocolate. And so I asked her, tell me a little about yourself, because I'm a little surprised to see her. I'll give you a little context. When I had seen her as a small child, she used to be huge, fat, and dark, and silky straight hair. And now I saw her after many years, slim, trim, fit, very frizzed hair, fair. I said, how does somebody change so much? So then I came to know more when I was doing the case, why things changed. So I said, tell me a little about yourself as a person. She said, I like to help people. I can't see sadness. I like to make people happy. I like to satisfy them. So I like to do things that my mom likes. I said, why do you do all that? She said, so that she likes me back. I said, moms always like their children. She says, no, but I want to just make her happy. She has to be, whatever she says, I do. So I said, why? She says, because I don't like to be ignored or rejected. She says, there was a time in my childhood. I said, what happened to you? Why this sudden change? She says, I was so fat and ugly. Nobody wanted to talk to me. No friends wanted me in their group. My sister didn't want me in the group. I felt so disgusted with myself that I had no other way, and I went into a complete crash diet. And you will not believe, she lost about 40 kilos. Obviously, that's just wondering, this fat, dark girl suddenly became so fit in a span of few months. And now she's looking much better. She says, I wouldn't get the attention when I was fat. People didn't like me. People didn't want to be with me. I felt I was ugly. So I said, what was the experience when you didn't get the attention? She says, I was just going out of the picture. They didn't even know I was there. They were completely rejecting me. There was a time I didn't have friends in my society, so I used to roam around with my sister's friend. But slowly, my sister also didn't want me in her group. I was completely left out. I was completely alone. I was trying so much to help them. I was trying so much to do whatever they wanted me to do, but nobody wanted me around. So, suddenly you see coming up of the me against you. Suddenly the need to be a part of the group and being rejected by the group and doing whatever it takes to be accepted. So at this point, I was very clear that, okay, this patient requires a mammalian remedy, but which one? I don't know. She says, I was shameful that I had no friends. And then I was also very attached to my mother. But there came a time that I felt my mother was moving away from me. My mother said I was moving away from her, but no, she was moving away. I did whatever it took to make her happy, but I felt she moved away from me. Then she says that there came a point in time I completely changed. I looked damn good. And, even in college, I get a lot of, she was in junior college, she says, I get a lot of attention. And, boys like girls who look pretty. And now I know. And now these other girls who were not my friends, who were not giving me attention, they suddenly wanted to become my friends. She says, but I don't really do, talk to them. I do good to those who are good to me. It's a give and take. I now do just a hi and hello with them. I don't go about talking too much. So that again, me versus you, but in a very subtle. She wasn't bad to them. She wasn't outright rude. She said, I would just say a hello and I would move on. But they had wronged me as a child. And I didn't like that. In those days, my confidence was absolutely zero. I had no self-esteem. I said, tell me, what are the things that you're scared of? She said, I'm scared of a lot of things. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of water. I'm scared of some insects. When she's saying, as a child also, when my mother would remove my dress, and if the dress got stuck in the neck and I could not breathe, I would feel very suffocated. I would panic. If while I went swimming and my coach put me underwater, it was not the water I was scared of. It was going under and not being able to breathe. So I'm very, very scared. When I used to go into a shopping mall and I had to try clothes, I couldn't be inside the trial room. I was always very scared. I would keep the door open. I would tell mom to stand outside because I would feel that the oxygen inside is getting less. I could not take that. She was scared of darkness, scared of somebody following her. She couldn't sleep alone. Somebody was pushing her from a great height. So lots of fears. To understand the uncompensated state, we need to go to three things. One is the fears, which she told about. Second is the childhood. That's when you actually find the inherent uncompensated feeling of the person. I said, tell me about your childhood. She said, my sister was always preferred. I was dark, she was fair. She was prettier than me. She got all the attention. Nobody even considered me around. I had a grandmother who stayed with us at that time. She was like, she said, तू तो हॉस्पिटल में बदल गई थी तो हमारे फैमिली की ही नहीं है. I mean, to say something like this to a child, that you must have got changed in the hospital, you don't even belong to our family, we are all fair and you are dark. So she had that inherently ingrained into her, that I don't fit into the family, I am not pretty. She says, I tried a lot to do for my grandmother as well, but to no avail. But she says, now I don't care anything. She may like me, she may not like me, it's absolutely okay. But in those days, I was embarrassed, ashamed of being fat. I wouldn't be able to forget a word my grandmother told me. Then I asked her, you said that that your mother went away from you. What was that? She says, my sister was giving her 10th exam. So my mother got busy with teaching her. She got busy taking care of her waking up time, her food time, her snack time, that suddenly she was so busy there that she almost forgot I was there. And she moved away. Although my mother said, I moved away. I became, older and I didn't want to be with her. It wasn't so. She got busy. She said, I was very close to my mother. I was like this close. She says, there was absolutely no distance between us. But she went away. She got busy. But even now, if my sister ever says a word against my mother, I am the first to fight. Can you see the involvement with caring with the mother, for the mother, by the mother also coming up as one of the mammalian things? So that was the case. I was sure of the remedy, but I had to ask her a direct question, which I'm not going to ask right now. So I want to ask from you, what do you think was the question that I asked? And what do you think is the remedy? Now you can write in the chat box. Lac humanum. Is this for this remedy? Lac defloratum, hydrophobenum. Hydrophobenum. Mayuri, I like your question. She's right. She says the question is whether you have any craving or aversion to milk. Yes. So I'm glad you all came to the remedy quickly. I have already discussed this. Now listen, this was my leading question to her. Do you like milk? She says, I love milk. I mean, when I was a child, I would want to drink milk all the time. I would open my mother's zipper and I would have milk. And in fact, you know, if I've not had milk, I would keep telling. Although mother has fed me a whole glass of milk also once I've grown older. She says, nahi, aapne mere ko doodh nahi diya, aap doodh do, doodh do. She's saying my milk intake was huge. I had a craving for milk. I also love curd and yogurts. So yes, the remedy that I gave her was Lacteflo. Let's understand how. When we are talking about the kingdom, we see a lot of me against the other. There is a lot of comparison. Why am I saying? I think you should tell me now. What else? Chat box, where is it? Okay, what are the themes? Now it's written, kingdom themes I've written over here. What are the themes of the mammals in this case? You can write in the chat box. Yes, Nitin, having a submissive nature, needing to be in the community, motherly affection, hierarchy, being rejected from the group, craving for mother's affection, wanting to be a part of the group. Absolutely right, all of you. So which kind of mammal do you think? Herd mammal, prey mammal, or predator mammal? Felt ugly, the desire to be pretty. Prey mammal, absolutely. So let's see further features. Subkingdom, mammals, to be a part of the group. The feeling of being rejected by the group. Doing whatever it takes to please the people and be accepted. Closeness to the mother. Self-contempt and feeling dirty. And the prey mammal features, submissive, docile, victim-like qualities, not aggressive or assertive, very low self-confidence, low self-esteem. And the rubrics that I took were neglected feeling, ailments from yielding disposition, forsaken feeling, fear of suffocation, fear of, nobody said this, fear of narrow places. See, there is a very interesting rubric. In fact, there are two rubrics in lactefloratum. Fear door, lest the door should be closed. You know, she said, I'm in a trial room and I don't go inside because I feel what if the door shuts and then I will suffocate inside. So fear of suffocation was huge, and fear of the door getting closed also. And we have lactefloratum as the only remedy. So of all the herd animals, claustrophobia, you will see more in lacteflo. And dreams of being neglected. We have only two remedies and lacteflo is one of them. So this was the repertorial totality. And these are the proving symptoms that we saw of lacteflo written by Dr. Shankaran. The need to belong to a community, the fear of being rejected by the community, fear of being forsaken or being separated from the mother, the need for being attractive, tremendous sense of injustice, need to bear a lot of suffering, cares for and by the mother, and fear and dreams of being pursued or being beaten. We did not get this beaten feeling, but all of the rest we got in this case. And Sir also mentions that physically we either see a very strong desire or an intolerance to milk. So I'm reading this from the Soul of Remedies. In my practical experiences with cases of lactefloratum, I found that the person is rather mild, gentle, but quite animated and tries to be attractive. There's loquacity and a kind of animated, expressive vividness. There's a feeling they have to do a lot for the community, to work hard physically for others in order to be accepted by the community. Also, they feel they have to bear silently with a lot. And in Phatak, we have in the mind horror of shut places. So the remedy given was lactefloratum. Within 3 weeks, her urticaria came down very, very well. And I think I have a follow-up about 5 months later. And emotionally, I said, how are you feeling? She says, you know what, the biggest thing for me is I have started loving myself back again. I said, what more could I have asked for? She says, I'm very gentle to myself now. I no longer feel that I need to do so much to be attractive. She started eating back again. I said, see, okay, you know, you've gone on crash and lost weight, but that doesn't mean you go randomly eating food and, you know, go haywire again. But she did beautifully well mentally and emotionally. So I think the remedy helped her physically and mentally, both ways. So we have about 7-8 minutes left. If you all have any questions now, Yamini, if you could let me know either for the case or about the whole theme of differentiation of lac remedies, I'd be happy to answer them now. I hope this lecture has given you some clarity on the lac remedies. So the question is, what books do you refer for lac remedies? See, you know what, there's a lot of information about the lac remedies in the Synergy software, and go through provings. There is really not so much available there's no one book that I can suggest, but provings is something that I have learned from. And there is a section called themes of the proving. Read those themes. Nancy Herrick has done a lot of good work on mammals, so that will really help. Ma'am, will you please share lac leolinum? But the thing is, dear, we have finished 3 sessions of 40 minutes. How much longer do you want to go? I mean, there'll be only very few. Probably some other session we'll take more. I'm also going to be doing a lecture on mammals in a webinar in the Survival 3.0. It's just got a little delayed. Probably we'll do it next month. So y'all can log in that time. What is the difference between tarantula and lac? Riddhi asks. I mean, there's a world of a difference. Tarantula belongs to the spider group of remedies, and you'll find the spider themes. And lac is the mammal group of remedies. So primarily, there is a big difference in the group features. Mayuri, actually, it didn't show on the screen. The lac leolinum clip you want to see? Okay, I'll put that on. Anything else? I could send you the, yeah, I could send it to you also. You know, if you can take down my email ID, drsunitagandhi1@gmail.com. And if there are any questions or anybody wants anything, and if you're running out of time, you can ask me. I would be happy to tell you. I could write here.
Dr. Sunita, there is one repetitive question I can see,
Yeah.
that how to differentiate from LAC-CAN, which comes very close to DEF.
Okay, very.
The
I'll answer.
submissiveness and you know, the desire to please others.
See, lac-CAN, there's a lot of loyalty, and lac-CAN, there's a lot of aggression. You will see no aggression in lac defloratum cases. Lac defloratum, the right word sir uses is subservient. They are docile, submissive animals. They don't retaliate. वो कोल्लू का बैल घूमता रहता है without even a word. The dog has the aggressive side. It is the carnivora family, the meat-eating family. The lac defloratum is herbivorous family, the grass-eating family. You know, so the whole intent for both of them is very, very different. You'll see a lot of anger. You'll see a lot of aggression in lac caninum, which is not seen in lac defloratum. No fear of closed places for lac-CAN. The claustrophobia is mostly seen in lac defloratum. Okay, thank you, Dr. Archana, for your kind words. Anybody has any? Okay, thank you, Dr. Rajkumar. Any other questions, Yamini, that's coming again? You know, because my chat box is only getting full, so I can't see the previous questions. Anything that's come up further?
Yeah. So
there was 1 second. I saw one question I'd like to address. Somebody said that lac humanum. How do you, how do you know you have to give the person the lac humanum remedy, because this is the nature of a human being, the conflict and the two wills which is there. So I had asked this question to Dr. Shankar and myself, so I know the answer that he gave, and I'm going to give it here. He said that if you are stuck in that feeling, so all of us have that good and bad feeling. I mean, just now, like, should I be sitting and studying homeopathy, or should I be watching a TV is my conflict. So should I just go and sleep or do the housework is also a conflict. But if that is what bothers you all the time, and that is your inherent feeling all the time, then you're stuck in that phase and you require lac humanum. Otherwise, this is your trait, so you don't require that.
Yes.
Anything else that you were asking something?
Yeah, I was asking that only. And also people are asking that, anacardium comes very close when we talk about two wills and having this duality and the conflict.
Yeah.
So how to differentiate that?
Again, anacardium from Anacardiaceae family. It's a plant remedy. Lac humanum comes from mammals and animals. The two wills is not the only thing that you will see. Like, we rightly know, whenever you're talking about jealousy will be seen in plant, animal, and mineral kingdom. But you have to see that jealousy along with the other symptoms. So anacardium, two wills. With that, you will also get that feeling of being stuck, restricted, unable to move, and better by movement that you see in the Anacardiaceae family, which you don't see any part of that here in the lacs, right? So never take one symptom as the only thing. So the conflict along with the other features of the mammals is what will give you lac humanum. And the conflict with the other features of Anacardiaceae family, the cancer miasm of anacardium, that will give you the remedy anacardium.
Yes. Okay.
Lac deflorative miasm is malarial miasm. वो कहते हैं ना, it's that man all the time wants to lose weight, does all the thing, then sees not too much result, comes back and kind of eats back again, and always think that going coming kind of feeling. It's more like the stuck in a situation with.
Yes, you were saying something about anacardium.
So I differentiated the plant and the animal side. The animal, you see all the features of the animal remedies, the themes of the animal and the mammalian themes when you're looking at the lac remedies and lac humanum, whereas you will see the stuck feeling, the inability to move, and better by motion, the main theme of the Anacardiaceae family, along with all the high levels of sensitivity, reactivity, and adaptability that you see in the plant kingdom. Right? Okay. So I think that's about it. Any other thing you want me to address?
No, I guess they are the most of the questions you have already addressed, and people were asking about other things. So I think for that we need another session from you to clear more doubts. To clear more doubts, we need another session from you.
Okay.
See, people are also asking, Mayuri is asking you what brought you to homeopathy and your journey throughout. So there are, the non-homeopathic questions also.
I used to be blamed for that initially, that Dr. Sunita Gandhi in her lecture talks about a lot about homeopathy and then also talks a lot about life in general. So, that is, and then
people are wanting to listen to that. Actually, they wanted. So it's an interesting thing.
The women are left now, huh? The women folk who want to start practice, and but I think it's a beautiful place to be. And even today in this situation of lockdown, when most people are out of work and not able to kind of be there for their families or provide for the families, I think we are able to help so many people with homeopathic medicines. It's unbelievable.
Definitely.
My story is 2 hours.
And we'll do a session for that for sure.
So I'm 49 years old today. I'm seriously, in 1 minute, I cannot tell you my whole story, but that would also be a good full session. So
Okay.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you,
Great.
everybody. Thank you so
So
much.
thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. Thank you for taking your precious time out and teaching us all the important lac remedies. They are very common in practice, and whatever you have taught us, shared with us, was very important, and it has given some, very essential insights about the important remedies. The lac leo thing I really liked. I loved your case, and people have also learned and loved your cases. So thanks a lot. It was wonderful.
Thank you. And Yamini, at this moment, I'd also like to thank you for the kind of work that you are doing. I've told this to you in person, but I
Yes.
think at this platform also, I would like to tell that, this is the dream that I saw Dr. Shankaran with, and he's the reason he started the other song was that that the pathy should not die with them, and that. Uh, we should be able to pass it on to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, so that it just grows beyond us. And
Yes.
I think he has trained us as first level, and his idea of training us has been primarily so that we can train others. And I think you're doing a wonderful job, Yamini, you and Dr. Vaibhav also. So please convey my best wishes to him also, for both of you all are just taking this journey on, and I'm so thoroughly impressed. So thank you very much for your work. It's
Thanks
really,
a
really
lot.